Nick Sargen is Chief Investment Officer at Fort Washington Advisors, where he helps oversee in excess of $30 billion. Nick, by the way, was formerly a member of the Federal Reserve Bank in San Francisco and the U.S. Department of Treasury. He joins us right now from Cincinnati with his outlook on the markets. Nick, great to have you back with Matt and myself. So,
yes.
You say the market's gone through a correction, not reached a bottom yet. What will tell you we have hit a bottom, and how far down is that bottom going to be in your view?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I would say actually what I've said is it's, originally we were asking, is it a correction or a bear market? And so the good news now is I think the evidence is suggesting correction, not a beginning of a new bear leg. And the principal reason being the better earnings coming out for Q2 for U.S., plus the sense that the crisis in Europe is abating somewhat. Actually, I don't know about whether we've touched bottom or not. My call is more, though, that I think we're in a choppy sideways market through this summer. As we get away from earnings, you focus back on the economy, and there's still questions. And then I think the other major aspect is just so much policy uncertainty. Now, we got through healthcare, we've gone through financial services. Now we're going to go through tax cuts or repeal of tax cuts.
Yeah, hey, Nick, I was going to ask, what's the catalyst to drive us back up? Even if we hit a bottom, what's to say we don't just sit there and hover for not only just this summer, but through this year and well into 2011?
Well, Matt, I would say usually you don't hover that long into 2011, but I think that the realistic possibility is what about through the congressional elections? And, because it seems to me that, again, the optimistic side of me does say, as you just heard from the Federal Reserve, that corporations are making money. They're sitting on mounds of cash. They've started hiring, but still not enough to give all of us confidence that the stimulus is over. So, what I'm waiting for is what are corporations looking for? And I think, if I had to put my words around it, an improved business climate, because they have to deal with economic uncertainty. But when you add policy uncertainty on top of it, that makes it hard.
Nick, are we going to get that improved business climate, considering that many Wall Street houses, or some Wall Street houses, I should say, are reining in those growth estimates, for the second quarter? That's backward looking, but even forward looking for the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, because as you say, most forecasters now brought down their number for Q2 on Friday to about 2.5%, somewhere in that zone. And again, when I try and say, well, where do I get the catalyst? It's hard to identify it because some of the fiscal policy stimulus is beginning to fade. And as we've heard, I really don't think that the Fed can jumpstart the economy. It can prevent a deflation, but it can't jumpstart the economy. So it comes down to me, Carol. There's one thing that will make me feel better, and it's job creation. Mm-hmm. It looked like we were starting to see it, and then we got the last 2 months. But that's what I'm waiting for more than anything.
But what about, Nick, it sounds like you're also saying November could change a lot for the market. I mean, what do you want to see happen in November?
Well, I think the big question is, do the Democrats lose control of the House? If so, do we start to get signs of a rethink on the part of the Obama administration? Basically the issue is, does the administration basically say, hey, we're out of money, but the private sector's got the money? Do we have to start thinking about economic programs that gets businesses willing to put that money to work?
All right. Hey, Nick, thanks so much for joining us. Nick Sargen, their Chief Investment Officer at Fort Washington Advisors.